Welcome to A1 Storyteller, where we dive into the heart of human experiences, exploring stories that challenge our perspectives and inspire us to be better. Today we bring you a powerful tale of prejudice, redemption, and the transformative strength of compassion. Get ready to be moved as we journey through the lives of two strangers on a plane whose encounter changes everything. The plane was nearly full, the hum of conversation and the clinking of trays filling the cabin. First class was always a bit more serene, with passengers who seemed to carry an air of entitlement. Among them was Evelyn Harper, a woman in her late 40s, impeccably dressed in a tailored suit. Her sharp eyes scanned the cabin, and she adjusted her designer glasses, a habit that betrayed her nervousness. Evelyn had always been a creature of habit, her life meticulously planned and controlled. She worked as a high-powered executive, a position she had earned through years of hard work and strategic maneuvering. But beneath her confident exterior lay a deep-seated prejudice, one she had harbored for years, though she would never admit it. As the final boarding call was announced, the passengers began to settle into their seats. Evelyn glanced up as a tall, broad-shouldered man entered the first-class cabin. He was dressed in a crisp military uniform, the medals on his chest glinting under the overhead lights. His skin was dark, a rich chocolate hue, and his eyes held a quiet strength. Evelyn's heart quickened as she saw him approach her row. She had always been uncomfortable around people of color, a discomfort that had grown into something more sinister over the years. She watched as he slid into the seat next to her, his presence filling the space in a way that made her feel small. "Excuse me," he said softly, his voice deep and calm. "Is this seat taken?" Evelyn hesitated, then shook her head. "No," she replied curtly, turning her attention back to her tablet. The man settled in beside her, his uniform a stark contrast to her tailored suit. She could feel his presence beside her, a constant reminder of the discomfort she felt. She tried to focus on her work, but her mind kept drifting back to him. As the flight attendant began to serve drinks, Evelyn's discomfort grew. She glanced at the soldier beside her, his uniform a symbol of everything she feared. She took a deep breath, trying to calm herself, but the words spilled out before she could stop them. "What else are you here?" she asked, her voice dripping with disdain. "This is first class, not a place for people like you." The soldier turned to her, his eyes narrowing slightly. "Excuse me?" Evelyn's face flushed with anger. "I said, why are you here? You don't belong here. This is for people who have earned it, not for soldiers." The soldier's expression remained calm, though his eyes held a hint of sadness. "I'm here because I earned it, ma'am. I served my country, and this is a perk of my service." Evelyn scoffed. "Perk? You call this a perk? You're just a soldier. You don't deserve to be here." The soldier's face hardened, but he remained composed. "I've seen more of the world than you ever will, ma'am. I've fought for freedom, for justice. This seat is the least I deserve." Evelyn's anger boiled over. "You think you're so special because you're in the military? You're just a common soldier. You don't belong here." The soldier's eyes darkened, but he took a deep breath and looked away. "I'm sorry if my presence offends you, ma'am. I'll try to be less of a burden." Evelyn leaned back in her seat, feeling a twisted sense of satisfaction. She had made her point, and the soldier seemed to understand his place. But as the flight continued, she couldn't shake the feeling that she had done something wrong. As the flight progressed, the tension between Evelyn and the soldier remained palpable. Evelyn tried to focus on her work, but her mind kept drifting back to the confrontation. She couldn't understand why she had reacted so strongly, why she had felt the need to belittle the soldier. The soldier, on the other hand, seemed to be lost in his own thoughts. He stared out the window, his expression distant. Evelyn glanced at him occasionally, her curiosity growing. There was something about him, something that made her want to know more. As the flight attendant began to serve dinner, Evelyn found herself watching the soldier closely. He ordered a simple meal, his appetite seemingly small. She wondered if he was upset by her words, if he was regretting his decision to sit in first class. After dinner, the cabin lights dimmed, and the passengers began to settle in for the night. Evelyn glanced at the soldier again, noticing that he had pulled out a small photo from his pocket. He held it close, his eyes softening as he looked at it. Curiosity got the better of her and she leaned over slightly. "What's that?" she asked, her voice softer than before. The soldier looked up, surprise in his eyes. He hesitated, then held out the photo to her. "My daughter," he said quietly. "Her name is Emily. She's 6 years old." Evelyn took the photo, her heart catching in her throat. The little girl in the photo had bright eyes and a wide smile, her dark curls framing her face. She looked happy and carefree, a stark contrast to the soldier's somber expression. "She's beautiful," Evelyn said softly, handing the photo back to him. The soldier nodded, his eyes distant. "She is, but she's been very sick lately. She has leukemia." Evelyn's heart sank. She had never faced such a personal tragedy, and she couldn't imagine the pain the soldier must be feeling. "I'm so sorry," she said, her voice sincere. The soldier sighed. "Thank you. It's been a tough few months. She's been in and out of the hospital, and it's been hard on both of us." Evelyn felt a pang of guilt. She had judged him so harshly without knowing anything about his life. She took a deep breath, trying to find the right words. I didn't know. I'm really sorry for what I said earlier. It was wrong of me." The soldier looked at her, his expression softening. "It's okay, ma'am. I know people have their prejudices. It's not your fault." Evelyn shook her head. "No, it is. I should have been more understanding, more compassionate. I don't know why I reacted the way I did." The soldier smiled gently. "Maybe it's because you're human. We all have our flaws, our prejudices. But it's how we choose to overcome them that defines us." Evelyn felt a tear slide down her cheek. She had never felt so vulnerable, so exposed. She took a deep breath, trying to steady herself. "Thank you," she said softly, "for understanding, for being so kind." The soldier nodded, his eyes filled with a quiet strength. "You're welcome, ma'am, and thank you for being willing to change." As the flight continued, Evelyn found herself opening up to the soldier. She told him about her life, her job, her struggles. She had never shared so much with a stranger, but there was something about him that made her feel safe, understood. The soldier listened intently, his eyes filled with compassion. He shared stories of his own, of his time in the military, of the sacrifices he had made. He spoke of his daughter with a love that was palpable, his voice softening whenever he mentioned her name. Evelyn felt a deep sense of connection, a bond that she had never experienced before. She realized that she had judged him based on his appearance, his race, without knowing anything about him. She had been blinded by her own prejudices, and it had almost cost her the chance to meet someone truly remarkable. As the plane began its descent, Evelyn felt a sense of gratitude. She had learned so much from the soldier, had gained a new perspective on life. She knew that she would never be the same, that she would carry this experience with her always. The soldier looked at her, his eyes filled with a quiet strength. "Thank you for this conversation, ma'am. It means a lot to me." Evelyn smiled, feeling a warmth in her heart. "Thank you, too, for being so kind, so understanding. I hope we can stay in touch." The soldier nodded, his eyes softening. "I'd like that, ma'am. I'd like that very much." As the plane landed, Evelyn felt a sense of renewal. She had faced her prejudices head-on and had come out the other side, changed. The soldier gathered his belongings, his expression thoughtful. Evelyn nodded, her heart filled with gratitude. "I will, and thank you." As they disembarked, Evelyn felt a sense of hope. She had taken the first step towards a better version of herself, and she knew that it was only the beginning. She would carry this experience with her always, a reminder of the transformative power of compassion. In the weeks that followed, Evelyn made a conscious effort to confront her prejudices. She sought out people of different backgrounds, listened to their stories, and tried to understand their perspectives. It wasn't easy, and there were moments when she felt overwhelmed, but she persevered. She kept in touch with the soldier, who had become a mentor and a friend. He shared his experiences with her, his wisdom and kindness guiding her on her journey. She visited his daughter Emily in the hospital, bringing her small gifts and spending time with her. She saw the soldier's love for his daughter, his unwavering dedication, and it inspired her to be better. Evelyn's colleagues noticed the change in her newfound compassion and empathy. She became a leader in her company, advocating for diversity and inclusion, using her position to make a difference. She knew that she still had a long way to go, but she was determined to keep moving forward. The soldier's presence in her life had been a turning point, a catalyst for change. He had shown her the power of compassion, the strength that comes from understanding and empathy. She knew that she would never forget him, that he would always be a part of her journey. Years passed, and Evelyn continued to grow and evolve. She became a champion for social justice, using her platform to advocate for equality and understanding. She spoke at conferences, wrote articles, and worked tirelessly to make the world a better place. The soldier's influence remained with her always, a guiding light in her journey. She visited Emily often, watching her grow and thrive, her strength and resilience inspiring Evelyn in ways she had never imagined. The soldier and Emily became a part of her family, their bond unbreakable. Evelyn's journey was not without its challenges, but she faced them with courage and determination. She knew that the fight for equality was never ending, but she was committed to making a difference, one step at a time. As she stood on stage at a conference, speaking about the importance of compassion and empathy, she felt a sense of fulfillment. She had come so far, had grown so much, and she knew that it was all thanks to the soldier who had changed her life. She looked out at the audience, her heart filled with gratitude. She had learned that compassion could change the world, one person at a time, and she was determined to keep spreading that message, to keep fighting for a better future. As she stood on stage, her voice filled with passion and conviction, she knew that she was part of something bigger, something that would change the world for the better. She had learned that compassion could transform lives, that empathy could bridge divides, and that understanding could heal wounds. And she was grateful for every step of the journey, for every lesson learned, and for every person who had touched her life. She knew that she would continue to grow and evolve, to fight for justice and equality, and to spread the message of compassion and empathy. Because she had seen firsthand the transformative power of kindness, and she knew that it could change the world. Thank you for joining us on this powerful journey through prejudice, redemption, and the transformative strength of compassion. We hope this story has inspired you to look within, to challenge your own biases, and to embrace the power of compassion. Remember, every small act of kindness can make a big difference. Stay tuned for more inspiring stories from A1 Storytelling, where we believe in the power of storytelling to change the world. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to A1 Storyteller for more heartwarming and thought-provoking tales. Your support means the world to us.